In the face of adversity, the United States has always stood tall. A prime example? The proactive approach against Houthi threats. Picture this. The initial stance was much like a game of high-stakes catch, intercepting and shooting down Houthi threats as they soared through the sky. It was a reactive measure, a response to an immediate danger. But as the saying goes, the best defense is a good offense. In a significant shift, the United States has now taken a more proactive approach. The focus is on neutralizing threats before they even have a chance to take off. It's about cutting the problem off at its root, about stopping the threats before they can become a real danger. So, why this shift? Well, the reasons are manifold. It's about efficiency, about efficacy, and most importantly about ensuring the safety of people. It's about not waiting for the danger to strike, but striking the danger first. This shift in strategy represents a significant evolution in the US approach towards Houthi threats. The change in strategy didn't happen overnight. It was a calculated decision made over time. Our journey begins with the initial approach where the US would engage Houthi threats as they appeared, often in the sky. The idea was simple: wait for the threat to surface, then neutralize it. This reactive stance, while effective to a degree, was not without its challenges. It required significant resources, both in terms of manpower and equipment, and there was always the risk of collateral damage. As time passed, the drawbacks of this approach became increasingly apparent. There were incidents where threats slipped through the net, leading to potential risks and raising serious questions about the effectiveness of the strategy. This period of self-reflection and analysis was critical as it paved the way for a new approach. Enter the shift in strategy. Fueled by the desire for a more efficient and effective method of neutralizing threats, the US began to explore proactive measures. The idea was to act before the Houthis had a chance to launch their threats. This marked a significant change in the way the US dealt with these threats, moving from a defensive to an offensive stance. The transition was not immediate, nor was it easy. It required meticulous planning, rigorous training, and substantial investment. But the potential benefits were undeniable. By acting before the threat was airborne, the US could significantly reduce the risk of collateral damage and increase the chances of neutralizing the threat. Fast forward to the present day, and the proactive approach has become the new standard. The US has moved from shooting Houthi threats out of the sky to blowing them up before they even get off the ground. This strategic evolution represents a profound shift in the way the US counters threats, placing a greater emphasis on prevention rather than reaction. The timeline clearly shows the US's strategic evolution in dealing with Houthi threats. A lot has been discussed today, so let's summarize the key points. We began with the initial strategy of the United States, which was reactive in nature, responding to Houthi threats as they arose. However, this tactic was not as effective as anticipated. This led to a shift in strategy, moving from a reactive approach to a more proactive one. The United States no longer waits for Houthi threats to manifest, but rather intercepts and neutralizes them before they get off the ground. This evolution in strategy was driven by two main factors: the need for enhanced security measures and the desire to minimize potential damage and loss. The current proactive approach has not only improved the overall effectiveness of the operations, but also provided a greater sense of security and control. It's a testament to the United States' ability to adapt and innovate in the face of evolving threats. As the situation unfolds, the United States remains steadfast, always adapting and innovating in the face of threats.